right, I feel like I'm going way over time here, so I'm going to make this one super short and super sweet. Or at least as super short and super sweet as possible. So, Missouri House Democratic floor leader and state rep for HD 132, Christo Quade, has released a statement today still. We are still a little bit early in the evening. Released a statement today, and it's definitely going to be grabbing some attention as we move forward, and especially right now, at a very, very crucial time, right before the midterms come to a close. So let's take a look and see what she had to say here, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of commentary at the end that may be unexpected. Honestly, it was unexpected to me because I wasn't even planning on going here at all. So let's take a look. So Christo Quade tweets out, and obviously wrote out an official statement here, but retweeting said statement. My statement on HB 11, which would repeal Missouri's extreme abortion law, because protecting reproductive freedom should be a higher priority than giving another tax cut for the rich. Boom! After Missouri's extreme new anti-abortion law took effect this summer, here we go. Its poor wording spawned fears. It also criminalizes prescribing or using birth control. Democrats implored the governor to expand his special session call to authorize the legislature to clarify and guarantee basic reproductive freedom in our state, but he refused. To highlight the continued threat to Missourians' right to control their own bodies, today I filed legislation to completely repeal this harmful law, originally enacted as House Bill 126. Preventing the state from imposing forced pregnancies on unwilling Missourians is a top priority. Pushing through a fiscally irresponsible tax cut for the wealthy when nearly every area of state government is underfunded is not. Try though they might, the governor and majority Republicans won't be able to change the subject from their record of disdain for individual freedom. Democrat minority leader Christo Quade from Springfield. And so just a continuing repeat from there on the tweet. And great, super great news. Is this political posturing? Sort of. Is there even a chance in hell that this is going to make it through, to the governor's desk? I hate to be a shit pickle here, folks, but let's be real. It's very, 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 very unlikely. Is this performative activism? Yeah, kind of, sort of, somewhat. Does your boy Chainsaw love it? Hell yeah. I think it's great. I think that anybody who supports this, who's been, screaming and crying and losing their fucking hair over performative activism this year, especially when it pertains to issues like this, especially when it pertains to reproductive rights issues in the state of Missouri or in the country at all. I don't know what to say about those folks. I mean, I know what they say, but I would just simply put out there that I love this. I love that I'm seeing more. As I said, I'm seeing more women than I have ever seen running for state office. As far as I know, not that I've been paying attention a whole lot. I've kind of been out of things for a few years, but this is the most I've personally known of women running for state office in the state of Missouri, like in my whole life. And if you know better, then feel free to let me know in the comments, because I could be wrong. But so far that I've been paying attention, this is the most women I've seen running for state office in the state of Missouri, and I'm super stoked about it. I think it's, I think it's hilarious. I think it's great. I think it's a good direction to be running. And I think it sends a very clear message. And for just sort of simple fact that most of them are running on anti-corruption in their campaign, as I've said, like probably 4 or 5, 17 times already, just in this program. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It sends a clear message to the GOP, and it should send a clear message to voters, Republicans and Democrats alike, that regardless of party, corruption is a problem that we face here in the state of Missouri. And again, for my detractors, who I know are avid Christo Quade supporters, meanwhile, screaming and losing their marbles about performative activism and things like that. I don't know. If you hate this, that's kind of on your conscience, not mine, because I think it's great. And I would love to see more of this from Democrats, at the state level here in Missouri, from all levels of government, really. as we saw, there was a lot of inaction in Washington, D.C. Right after the overturning of Roe earlier this year, and some of those same critics of your boy Chainsaw are losing their marbles because they just simply couldn't handle people doing things like this. Whether it means anything or not, it raises awareness. It shows that Crystal Quade is willing to put her balls on the line to, you know, to put it out there like that. I mean, yeah, again, is this going to make it to the governor's desk? Probably not. Did she do it anyway? Yeah. Why? Because it's badass. And because it shows that Crystal Quade isn't just sitting on her ass. And it encourages other people to also not just sit on their asses and to get out there, get active, and do all that Tom Hartman stuff he's been harping about for 10 years. You know, I'm just saying, you know, this is Crystal Quade's tag, and now you're it. So, you know, and again, I wasn't going to say anything about any of this. I was just going to let it go. Let bygones be bygones and not say a damn thing and act like your boy Chainsaw was fucking invisible. But because I love this so fucking much, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in. I'll probably end up getting some unsubscribes, and that's perfectly cool too. But because I love this so much, when it comes down to it, I will tell you. Now I've been reading a little bit about the whole thing that's been happening in Springfield with Crystal Quade and another candidate. I thought it was kind of goofy and kind of funny. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I didn't go to high school with Larry or anything, but like, you know, I know Larry. I know Larry Flanoid. You know, like, I mean, I don't know him. You know, like again, we didn't ride the school bus together, but like, you know, I seen I've changed my socks in the guy's bathroom. I've seen what the inside of his refrigerator looks like. You know, like I know him. Okay, you know, for you know, as a work associate, you could say. You know, at that time he was working on a different project. I was working on a different project. We kind of, you know, overlapped with regard to the industry that we were working in. You know, so we kind of had a couple of things that we were shooting some ideas back and forth. You know, he's I've worked with him as far as putting together for you know, real love equals real change with some of the stuff that he was doing to help him acquire some stuff for you know, a Christmas program that he was running a couple years back. He's a nice guy. I like the guy. You know, it's all right. I mean, he's run into some controversial shit, and that's you know, that is what it is. And I don't really know enough about all of that stuff to really throw an opinion either way. Some of it seems a little bit funny to me. Some of the things that he's said in the past are also not necessarily things that I would say, but, you know, so whenever I heard about all this stuff going on, with that race, my first thought was, oh God, Larry, what are you doing, bro? Don't do it. You know, just cause it seemed kind of funny to me. You know, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Crystal Quade at all. Everybody I know who knows her on like a personal level, that they seen the inside of her fridge, they got nothing but great and wonderful things to say about her. A lot of support, especially from women in that community, which I think is great. So when all that came about, I thought, oh my goodness. The one thing that did distract me, that I didn't really say is even something I didn't really care for, but it just reminded me a little bit too much, was that whole when I think it was the was it the Missouri Independent or whoever it was that ran that story, and it was alleged that she had remarked that she thought that maybe the Republican Party was putting Larry up to it, and I thought, my God, anybody who knows Larry like that he gets down with some interesting folks. Some I definitely are not the kind of folks I want to get down with, but you know, that's just Larry. But I don't know that I would have really went that route with it. I don't know, like, now to be completely fair though, to Crystal Quade, the first thing that Larry does as soon as all that stuff goes out is he's like, look, I'm going to run as a write-in, and it's going to be great. And also, I think everybody should vote for the Republican. And I'm like, no, Larry, no, that is not the answer either. So hopefully at the end of the day, these two can, it's probably not happening this year, but you know, before 2024, these two can mend their differences, and you know, we can all just be friends and have pie and, you know, maybe some punch too. It'll be great. But if not, that's perfectly fine. But that would be my only I don't say recommendation to Crystal Quade, is that like that did kind of remind me of some Tipper Gore type of shit. I'm just saying, I'm no judgments here. Like everything else, I've heard nothing but good things, and I fucking love this. I absolutely love this. But that the lawsuit thing did remind me a little bit of Tipper Gore. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. But then again, first thing Larry does when he comes out of it is like, I'm voting for a Republican. I encourage everybody to vote for the Republican. And no, Larry, that is not the way, my dude. What? No, I get that you're mad, but like, that's not it. This is it. This is, you know, this is it. And I don't get to vote over there anyway, so it's none of my fucking business, really. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in because I know some folks that know some folks that know some folks. That and you know, there's at least a couple of her supporters that scare the living shit out of me because they, Jesus Christ, because they're on a completely different page when it comes to some things. But you know, hey, I like I say, I love this, and I love the fact that this is something that everybody should be supporting, and I see this being nothing but good things for the state Democrat Party, and this should be a piece of legislation that works to energize you know, the voters in general. At least voters with some fucking common sense, because my God, you got folks out there like Brian Seitz who doesn't, you know, he doesn't know what a uterus looks like. The guy doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. You know, the racist car wash guy who wrote that bill that was including ectopic pregnancy, as you know, trying to make operations of ectopic pregnancy, which of course is an abortion, trying to make that illegal because he doesn't understand how ladies' reproductive organs work and whatnot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ginger Whitty's gonna, you know, stomp that dude a new asshole when November gets here, and it's gonna be glorious. And I mean that in a electoral type of way. But again, without you know, jumping too much into it, I love this, and I love what's going on out there. And for those folks who have been harping about you know, what do you call it, performative activism, hey, you know, I assume this wasn't the first time you was wrong either, but you know, it's all good.